Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Scorpio January 14, 2023. Mars ends its retrograde cycle today. Dealings with others may not have been straightforward with Mars retrograde in your partnership sector since late October. Further, support for your personal endeavors hasn't been at its peak, but now that Mars is direct, relationship dynamics smooth over, and your confidence improves. You feel that you can truly begin to move forward. More clarity comes to your love life, and relationships regain momentum. There can be friendly developments on romantic and creative levels. Ideally, you now have a better sense of what you want and don't. Mars is still in opposition to your sign until March 25th, and some fireworks in your connections are still likely, but resolutions are also in the pipeline. The desire to move forward on a relationship matter can be intense, or you feel that you now have the psychological tools or enough information to go ahead. Ease back into action now for the best results. You've had a turbulent life for months now, especially since Halloween. While you're always up for a bit of adventure or danger, you could have felt like the energy of the cosmos was out to break you and bring you down. Mars retrograde is one of the most difficult transits the cosmos can throw at us, and for you, it's been filled with challenges. Mars rules sex, passion, and war, and it was throwing a tantrum in the skies of Gemini. Gemini rules communication and interaction, so there have been all sorts of karmic lessons around all of these themes to face. Do not be afraid to speak up about what you want to pursue. Feel confident in your creativity when Venus in Aquarius sextiles Chiron in Aries today. Since a sextile is a positive aspect, you may feel more confident to use this transit to heal any self-doubt that you may have regarding your passion projects and ideas. You may feel more even keel with your commitments given that Mars will station direct in Gemini as well. Now direct, Mars can give you the boost of confidence you need to move forward. For the second time in as many days we have another planet turning direct, this time Mars. However, the last of the 4 planets that began the year in retrograde motion to turn direct is Uranus, who only now moves his final 10 days in retrograde motion in your work sector today, but just as Mercury moves into his final 6 days in retrograde motion in your income sector. There is still time to ensure no stones have been left unturned on both fronts. You may feel like your stress level has been high for several weeks, and you are only now realizing it. When you notice this kind of imbalance, praise yourself. It is a secure person who can recognize when they are not feeling themselves. Step back from the chaos and ask what's been missing. Do you need to catch up on your sleep? Do you need to work in a morning walk or yoga routine before settling down to work from home? If you're unemployed at the moment, do you need to create more structure in your life, like a daily routine, so that you don't slip into a sense of disorientation or depression? The moment you notice something about yourself that needs adjusting, you're already halfway through the battle. On this day you will be able to maximize your potential. By being totally in touch with your resourceful nature, you will find that you are able to be generous to a degree that you normally are unable to be. In areas you feel need closure, you will be able to take an inspired approach, and in doing so, you will find a sense of relief. Others give you the opportunity to freely share with them later this evening. You will find this to be a truly valuable growth experience. A day after the dwarf planet Eris turned direct in a playful and creative part of your chart, Mars turns direct in your relationship sector today, and with perfect timing. After a friendly aspect to Venus in your communication sector earlier in the week, the Moon's return to your friendship sector today will support both. Just as the tide turns on the relationship front, the Moon contributes to the start of what will be some good days across the communication, friendship, and relationship fronts. Just a day after the dwarf planet Eris, the warrior princess of the cosmos turned direct in your romantic sector, Mars turns direct in your relationship sector. Within the space of just 24 hours, the warrior prince and princess of the cosmos are both coming out of hibernation, one to get things moving on the romantic and the other on the relationship front. Our eyes in the sky. Action planet Mars turns direct in Gemini this afternoon, ending the retrograde story that began on October 30, 2022. We could feel a bit frustrated and out of sorts as Mars begins to wind down from its planetary moonwalk. However, we're just feeling the tail end of drama that we've been dealing with for months. Our energy can now be restored and revived for the first time in a long while. You find work-related issues easy to handle, and using your alert and active mind you apply fresh impetus to projects that require concentrated team effort. You encounter very few obstacles in your personal life. Whatever you choose to focus your attention on, others are enthused by your innovative approach and appreciate the concerted effort you make. Your ability to understand any situation is good, and you're able to undertake any sort of mental task. Equally, you're communicating without any difficulty, so possible negotiations or similar conversations turn out to be successful. You also find your general level of curiosity is heightened, and you're keen to acquire knowledge and learn as much as you can. If you enjoy buying yourself something new, go ahead and do it. You have the means to do so, and it's about time you treated yourself. Your finances allow you to make a small investment, and you are sensible enough not to overspend. Get out and strut your stuff. Feeling attractive, you're easily persuaded to make the most of your looks with a visit to the hairdresser or the health club. You're amazed at the transformation. Feeling even more appealing, when you meet up with others your attractiveness shines through. You're aware how people notice you. It's not your imagination. Mid-morning, Venus in Aquarius sextiles Chiron in Aries, helping to heal our hearts. Today's interactions stimulate reminders of wounds experienced in past relationships. It may not be a romantic wound, but a platonic one. Perhaps the betrayal of a friend, or being ostracized from a social circle. Yet today, the trigger feels softer. The lessons imparted are gentler. We might find ourselves entrenched in a similar dynamic with a friend who keeps us on the outs. Yet we can see that this is not the kind of alliance we wish to have in our lives. Alternatively, it may be that we are now part of the in crowd. We can welcome someone into our sphere and thus repair some of the karmic damage we incurred in our youth. Intensify contacts to people, because they find you particularly likable right now. Plan your leisure time with family and good friends, and most importantly, make your plans together. You might feel like ringing up an old friend. The time is perfect to revive and strengthen old ties. This will make it easy for you to make new contacts and maybe even lifelong friendships. In the early afternoon, Mars stations direct after nearly 2.5 months of being retrograde. During this time, we have had to contest with stalled projects, low libidos, weakened immune systems, and an inability to achieve progress in the causes that are important to us. Finally, these issues start to fall away as Mars begins its forward march. Take a mental inventory of the past few months and note lessons learned. We may have discovered that we were putting our energy behind work initiatives or relationships that were not worth the effort. Having received a clearer picture, we can proceed in the arenas where our actions are able to make a real impact.